Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the City of Angels, Los Angeles, California. And we are underway from SoFi Stadium. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. Stroud sets up the play action. He'll get this into the hands of Nico Collins. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 23 yards, the final tally.
Certainly no settling into the drive there. They came right out on the first play and attacked the middle of the field for a big gainer and a first down.
And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here. A little antsy on the left side of the line.
Yeah, I think they got the guy in the end. I think they got the DN there on that one, and let's face it, he is so amped up, wanting to get a good get-off on the snap, jump too quickly.
So a 1st and 5 now after the 5-yard penalty from the neutral zone infraction. Stroud to throw it. Another one caught by Collins. And he's going to get this inside the 30. This duo locked in, 14 yards there, and a first down. So we just called his name on the previous snap, and they go right back to him, Charles, for a second consecutive completion.
Yeah, I think what we're discovering on this drive is that he feels like he has answers no matter what defense you throw up there. He reads it, finds the open spot, and is available for the completion.
Turns out to be a great idea to tuck that one. Good for 24 yards.
I think the last two plays really illustrate how difficult it is to game plan against this guy because you know he can throw the football, but how about his use of legs as well, what we call those broken plays? You can't account for them.
Yeah, those plays, those two that you just mentioned, a microcosm really of how he can hurt you. Mixon will take this one in for a Texans touchdown. And they do exactly what they wanted to. Opening drive, they get into the end zone. They do it on the ground.
And not only is the person lugging the ball happy, of course, because he got it into the end zone. How about the offensive linemen and receivers who are blocking for him? They have to feel great about themselves, sticking it in the end zone on a running play.
Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. Here's a Los Angeles offense as they get set to take possession. Stafford and the Rams come up 1st and 10. Right at the 30. Slot man moves right. And they'll fake the jet sweep and instead give up the middle to Williams. And he's brought down at the 34. Call it a gain of 4.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. He wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
Line of scrimmage, the 24. This is 2nd and 6. A shotgun snap for Stafford. Got a man open. It's Tyler Higbee. And Higbee going to have a Rams first down as he's up to the 43. It's a 9-yard gain, and it'll keep the drive moving. We'll see what kind of mindset they have here offensively after giving up the touchdown on the opening drive.
And based on our time with them, prior to this game, I feel like they've got a good mindset going in. In fact, the discussion that we had with the coaching staff was, we may give up some points in this game, so our offense has to be ready each and every time to either equal or try and get us ahead and try and keep us ahead. This is their chance to respond to that first touchdown given up.
And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. Give them 19 there as the drive marches forward.
Well, I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people, but you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
He'll get this one complete to Atwell. Takes this to the 32, maybe the 31, and then the defense rallying quickly after that broken tackle. Here's 2nd and 3. Off of play action. Here's Stafford. This one swung out to Williams. Call it a gain of a yard, and that'll leave them with a 3rd and 2. And forget about the run to set up the pass. They're just coming out throwing.
Forget trying to set anything up. They feel like they have the advantage. They feel like they have the matchups, and they're just attacking right now.
Yep, going to the air on the opening drive. They'll try and run for it. Here's Williams. And, boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short.
I'll bet they thought they had picked that one up because it was a 3rd and 2 call, and they got awfully close. Now we're at 4th and inches. I wonder if they think they're feeling lucky here and maybe want to go pick it up.
They snap it to Stafford. And he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. Back to throw. Here's Stroud. Man open. That's complete to Dalton Schultz. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped. A well-executed 22-yard gain.
So many times in my career I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing, but as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
That is incomplete.
That's what you're going to need to do against those big receivers. You got to get in there and get physical with them. That time he got in close, got in tight, and knocked the ball away.
They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10. On the bootleg, Stroud. That one caught along the sideline. Did he stay in? Yes, he did. But hang on here. A penalty marker is on the field. Well, every lineman knows the rule. You only get a 1-yard buffer beyond that line of scrimmage, and then the flag is thrown, and he got tagged for it there. Counting down toward the midway point in quarter one. And Stroud now to throw. A short one going to be taken in here by Schultz. Call it a gain of 6 on the play, and that's going to set up a tough 3rd and 9.
I know sometimes we can get fooled when we watch him make catches, as we just saw him do there, because he really looks like a wide receiver the way he goes about his business.
Yeah, 230, 240 range.
Yeah, not super huge. Maybe not counted on to be that inline point-of-attack blocker that we used to have in the good old days, but you can flex him out. You can run wide receiver routes with him. You can make him a primary target, and that's how he'll shred a defense.
And a good job defensively. They stop him short of the first at the 32. 5 yards that time out of the scramble, but now they're looking at a 4th down situation. Now a former kicker at nearby UCLA, Kaimi Fairbairn, for the field goal try. It'll be a 49-yard attempt from the left hash. The kick by Fairbairn is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So a touchdown on their opening drive and 3 more here, and it adds to their first quarter lead.
Yeah, everything's going according to plan so far because the offense has moved the ball, defense able to do their job, and here the special teams unit comes through with their contribution. A field goal to make it 10-zip.
So after the made field goal, 10-0 here early as the kick's away. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. So the Rams coming back onto the field, their second drive of the game. They'll look to get something started. They need to, down 10-0 early as they've got it 1st and 10. They begin the drive with Williams. And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line. That's good for 21 yards and a first down.
Good, strong, explosive run that started inside, which means you've got to control those defensive linemen, the defensive tackles, the nose guards. Those guys have to be controlled. How about the offensive line, the job they just did?
Yeah, key that A-gap usually on those runs, right?
That's where it all starts because everyone wants to kind of control that area. It disrupts things from the defensive side and the offensive side. As we just saw, it opens up possibilities.
And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. A good convergence there defensively, only a yard, and it's second down.
Good reactions there defensively. That screen was a little slow in developing, and they shut that one down with little gain.
2nd and 9. Up the middle, it's Williams. And he goes across midfield and down into Houston territory. Give him 6 yards on the carry. It's going to be 3rd and 3 now.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. Back to throw, Stafford. He's got his target. That's complete. And he is going to have a Rams first down by a couple of yards as they're able to convert here on 3rd and 3. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. Well, you're down early. How do you get back in the game, maybe establish the run? I think they're trying to do that.
Now, I'm with you on that one, and what I like about the message is that there's no panic from the head coach. He's already told his offensive coordinator, let's run the football, let's get things settled down a little bit and find our way back into this game.
He'll drop this down to Williams. And he's going to be taken down with another first down as the stop's made at the Texans' 18. That one good for 20 on the catch and run.
You can almost hear the sigh of relief coming from their sideline and from their point on the field because this has been a tough start for them thus far. A much-needed first down there. They needed something good to happen. Plays like that will continue to help them dig out of this hole.
Now a first down carry. It's Williams. And he gets it down close to the 10-yard line. 45 yards rushing for him now to this point. The success there, Charles, coming on the outside of the field, the ground game. Curious to see if that continues as we progress.
Yeah, we often talk about a variety in play calling and usually between run and pass. But in this case, with strictly the run game, you can be creative there as well. Run it inside, run it outside, keep the defense off balance.
They'll stay on the ground with Williams. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. It's a 3-yard pickup, and that sets up 1st and goal.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. And I believe that they've done that here in the first quarter.
1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. They'll try and run. This is Williams. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. It's a gain of a couple, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
The yards may start getting a little tougher to come by down here near the goal line. That's good work defensively there on first down, holding them to a short gain.
The 6-yard line, the line of scrimmage on 2nd and goal. They'll try the air now with Stafford. This is caught. And just shy of the goal line as he's out of bounds right at the 1. 5 yards that time on the completion, and now it's 3rd and goal.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route, and what you have to do on that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
The Rams with the football here to begin the second quarter, as they'll see what they can do on 3rd and goal. Williams. And Williams is going to be stopped short of the yellow line. He did not get there. No gain on the play, and what to do now on 4th and goal. This is a long drive offensively. Wouldn't you hate to end this with just 3 points?
Doesn't it feel like during a ball game you have certain narratives going on and there's certain drives that seem to take on just a bit more importance than others? This feels like one of those, doesn't it? To me, 3 points here, a major letdown. This is the time to go and put 6 on the board.
So a conservative decision there, but it does put them on the board.
And I know the players hate it and the coaches hate it, but sometimes you just got to take the points when they're there. Sometimes a field goal is pretty darn good.
This game back within a touchdown now as the kickoff's away. Oh, a dangerous return man showing it here. And the football going back over now to the Houston Texans. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. That play going for 16 yards to start the drive, 1st down.
But one of the ways the quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field. And here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
This one complete to Christian Kirk. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. It's another 1st down on what will be a gain of 21 yards.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
So from Rams territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 32-yard line. Stroud. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
There is something to a game plan with trying to keep a defense honest. With a guy with that type of speed, you do so. Send him deep, try and throw some air under it, and hope you connect downfield. On that play, they run successful.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from about the 32. Stroud out of the gun here. He gets this one to Mechie. And he'll go down at the 26 following a gain of 6. Third and 4. Stroud looking to throw. This goes out wide for Mixon. And I don't think he got there, no. He's short by maybe a foot, maybe. Call it 4th and inches.
Well, it looks like they got what they wanted. They got the completion, but they weren't able to break any tackles or gain nearly enough yardage to pick up the 1st down. Now to be 4th and short.
The kick by Fairbairn is good, and they will stretch their lead to 10 now at 13-3. So they're content to take the 3. Somewhat of a conservative call there, opting not to go for it on 4th and inches.
And that's from a team that you and I know is not usually playing it close to the vest. It's a little bit of a surprise that they opted for the 3 instead of going for it.
Fairbairn now following the made field goal. He'll send this one away. Oh, a good-looking return set up here. And all in all, a pretty solid return. Nearly got it to the 35. They'll mark him down officially at the 34. Now the Rams offense, they worked their way back on the field. Their drive last time, it stalled out. They were forced to take the short field goal.
And the key phrase, you nailed it, forced to, because you know coaches look at these short field goals as a last resort, right? To them, that's not how drives are supposed to end. You're supposed to put 6 on the board. That's a consolation prize. Like going to the county fair, you don't get the big stuffed animal on that one, do you?
No, you don't go top shelf. That's bottom shelf material. Now the Rams offense getting the football back.
And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
So no gain on the play. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
And this offense on 3rd down today, just 1 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 19. Stafford now to throw. That one out wide and intercepted. Derek Stingley picks it. And they will score a pick 6 for the Texans TD. But Charles, you can just see the frustration on the sideline. Safe to say that's not how they expected this series to go. The ball only went one way, and it was backward into their own end zone, courtesy of the pick 6.
And, Brandon, how often do we hear offenses tell us before a game they want to end every series with a kick, right? A punt, a PAT, or a field goal. In case of a defense, they want to end with a punt or a takeaway. And we saw the takeaway right there, and it turned out to be a takeaway that turned into 6 points.
So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. The offense for Los Angeles returns to the field. It's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through goalposts.
A quick throw out to Adams on the perimeter. So that'll be no better than an incompletion, and that'll make it 2nd down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained. So they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He can make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Stafford. That ball nearly intercepted. The rookie had his hands on it, but couldn't pull it in.
Well, nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're seeing.
Interestingly, that throw was probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last drive, but fell incomplete. Throwing is Stafford. Oh, everything falling apart now. Another one intercepted. Derek Stingley picks it. Mixon with a 1st down carry. And he is going to lose yardage here. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
And that's what I'd like to see out of this defense, a little fire, a little toughness. It hasn't been the best first half for them, but they did do a nice job there, forcing a loss on that play.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. A shotgun snap to Stroud. That one complete downfield to Kirk. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. 27 yards there, a 1st down. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful you're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty.
It's Mixon on the counter. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
Partner, one thing I was lousy at growing up, track and field, I could never anticipate the start before a race, but how about that backer? He figured it out, jumped the count, and turned it into a really nice play for his defense.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Stroud. Pass caught on the out route by Mechie. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. The Rams go nickel here defensively on 3rd. Here's Stroud. And that is incomplete. Problems on 3rd down so far in this first half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
And the average in the league, somewhere around 40% on 3rd down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them or don't get to 3rd down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yards on 1st and 2nd down.
Fairbairn able to put this one through, and that will extend their lead even further. So the turnover leads to points as they add 3 there.
Yeah, what a sequence there, and a nice one for them. They force the interception, put together a little drive, and then come away with 3 points. Nothing to it, partner. Just do it.
Fairbairn now following the made field goal. He'll send this one away. Well, now how about this return? And a good return, able to get out across the 35 to the 36. The Rams offense now making their way out to take over. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Well, at the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back to huddle and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run. But the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
Now Stafford gets this into the hands of the tight end, Higbee. And Higbee going to have a Rams first down as he'll be brought down just shy of midfield. It's been a very one-sided game so far. They got to change what they're doing right now, don't they? You can't wait till the halftime speech to make an adjustment.
No, you can't, because if you're doing it right, you're adjusting from series to series, and they need a big adjustment here to try and put some points on the board.
Now we give up the middle to Williams. And he goes across midfield and down into Houston territory. 61 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here this first half.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
Play action. Stafford looking deep for Adams. And this is caught. Touchdown, L.A. Davante Adams, 45 yards. And the Rams get a bit closer. Well, they had gone run the previous play. Nice little setup. This time they go play action. Defense bites a bit, and they hit for a big play in the end zone.
So they sold it really well, didn't they? Because of just what you described. They ran it the previous play, come back with the same action, and now they step back and throw it and get a big play for a touchdown. But what happens as a defensive back is your eyes have to go to the right place. You always hear a coach talk about, are your eyes in the right spot? Well, this time the eyes went to the play action. It froze their feet. They weren't moving, and he went on past them and caught the pass for a touchdown.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And he'll be stopped up at the 25. Houston's offense taking over again.
And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try and increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
A gain of 3, second down.
The passing game's been working quite well so far, but the running game's been a little bit of a struggle, and that's a surprise to me. Typically, when you can throw it, you've opened up lanes for your runners.
Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping.
And that'll be a free 5 yards for the offense.
Just like a tennis match, that's just an unforced error. Stay alert, don't jump early, and give them free yardage.
Second and 2 now. The penalty leaves them in pretty good shape. Again, it's Mixon. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. He'll lose a yard on the play, so now they need 3 yards on third down.
We all have habits. We can be somewhat predictable, and you know me pretty well on second down and short. What I like to see?
Play action.
Yeah, without a doubt. I thought that was a great spot to call it. Instead, didn't go their way, did it?
No, defense sold out for the run. Worked out well.
And he is going to have a Texans first down by about a yard. It's a gain of 5 on 3rd and 4.
And that one was a lot of fun right there because that was the game within the game. 3rd and short, blitz was on. What's the key for the quarterback? Get out of your hands in a hurry. And that was a quick little completion. Got the job done for a first down.
A handoff, running left, Mixon.
And taken down just shy of the 40.
I think if we put together a job description for a middle linebacker, we would start with being able to hold down things in the middle of the line of scrimmage and be able to take on blockers. But how about the guys who can go sideline to sideline and make plays?
Love a guy that can do that. We saw a perfect example of it right there.
Stroud working out of the gun.
Steps away to his left. Opted to run for it. The decision a good one. Picking up the first, getting 14 yards on the scramble.
Partner, there's a downside to everything, and the danger of man coverage is if you're locking down your target, you often turn your back to the quarterback, and you don't see him. Sometimes you open up a big lane for him to hit you for big yardage, and that was an astute play by him to scramble out, see that lane, and burn them for a first down.
And they get to Stroud, nowhere to go, and he goes down. Byron Young, the one who got in and finished that play off. And this is a quarterback who's already had success on the ground in this first half, but this time they're able to hem him in.
And it's always different when you rush a mobile quarterback as opposed to a guy you know will be right back in the pocket. In this case, you got to make sure the inside pressure and the outside pressure match, and maybe even a second wave to make sure if he squirts free, you've got someone to tackle him.
Yeah, that's good for a gain of 6, and it brings up 3rd and 5 now.
They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. Throwing now is Stroud.
A short one going to be taken in here by Schultz. And this is going to be another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Rams' 25-yard line.
Stroud to throw it.
Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Jordan. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. 11 more yards that go around, a first down as well.
He's certainly done a nice job spreading the field on this drive, and here he finds his big tight end for good yardage. And that's what you have to do. Keep defenses guessing about where you're going to go with the football.
Now Stroud.
toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
You're down 2 touchdowns. You just know defensively you absolutely have to come up with a big play. That nearly was one right there.
Looked over at the sideline immediately after the drop and just saw the dejection. They felt it. They thought he had it. Unfortunately, couldn't come up with it. On 2nd and 10, Stroud to Mixon on the check down. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
I really like the angles that the tacklers came from on that play. They secured inside, took away the cutback. The sideline's there, so he can only go so far outside, and they were able to close in and tackle him for a loss.
Yeah, they used your boy over there, the 12th man, Sammy Sideline, right?
Sammy Sideline. You know something? He tackles pretty well, too.
He's tougher than an airport steak. They'll set up the screen here to Mixon. And he's not quite going to get to the marker. It'll be a gain of 8 on 3rd and 10. So on 4th down, Texan kicker Kaimi Fairbairn comes on. From the left hash, a chip shot here. The kick by Fairbairn is good, and that will extend their lead even further. Still a little bit of time left here in the 2nd quarter, but they do get 3 before the half and expand that lead.
And they have to be happy about that, and we haven't met a team yet that doesn't put an emphasis on trying to get points on the board in the last 2 minutes of a half. They'll be real excited to have those up on the board.
Fairbairn now following the made field goal. He'll send this one away. And he nearly broke that for more, but as it is, still a good return. They'll start the drive right around the 37. Now the Rams about to go on offense one final time in this first half. And with decent starting field position, they're maybe only a couple completions away from field goal range. Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 37. Here's Stafford. He's got Higbee complete right side. Now the Rams will signal for a timeout, their 2nd, as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number 1. Stafford. Pass complete there to Nakua. Now here's a timeout as they're going to get it with 8 seconds remaining here in the first half. Back to throw, Stafford. Now that's to the left sideline and incomplete.
And that's the knowledge you gain from being in this league for a long time. He's learned the hard way when to give up and fight another down. And that's a smart move to throw it away.
And they line up now for what will likely be the last play of the first half. The final shot before the break, Stafford. He's going to throw one up for the end zone. They're unable to connect, but a late flag comes in. And the contact may have come too early. And the first half, just like the end of the game, can't end with a defensive penalty. They'll have another play.
One more play, untimed. See what happens here.
And his kick is indeed good, and that will do it for this first half. And that'll do it for the end of the second quarter. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. The Rams set to receive the second half kickoff, and they trail here as we resume play. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. Out come the Rams. They'll have it first here to begin the third quarter. And they're on the short end of the scoreboard here. Charles, what adjustments, if any, do you think they need to make for the second half?
Or paraphrasing the gold medal hockey winning coach Herb Brooks, I just say you continue to play your game. Throw the ball. They had success doing it in the first half, so make sure you keep getting the ball to your playmakers, a little bit more to the perimeter perhaps, but above all, play your game.
And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line.
Got to give credit where it's due. Really nice defense on that play. The pitch and catch was successful, but not any run after it.
From the 31, here's 2nd and 6.
Off of play action, here's Stafford. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
And you just know when that play call came in, their eyes lit up, because anytime you get a chance to take a big shot downfield, that's a lot of fun, and they missed an opportunity.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. In motion, the tight end. Now it's Stafford. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down.
Oh, I thought he had that one, and that was nearly a big 3rd down conversion to give this drive some life. Instead, they're on the spot and help separate the receiver from the ball.
Here comes the Rams punter now. And surprisingly, this is the first punt of the game for either team.
And here comes Berrios.
43-yard punt, but they get 9 back on the return. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. Here's the Texans offense now, readying for their first possession of the 2nd half. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
Back to throw. Here's Stroud. This one left side, caught by Collins.
It'll be a gain of 5, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
Play action. Stroud now. He gets this one to Mechie.
And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. A gain there of 21 yards.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the 3rd quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
And this will leave them a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
Stroud will look to throw once more. Short throw into the hands of Jordan.
2 yards on the pickup, and that's all they needed to move the sticks.
They got a completion there, but that's clearly an example of one side happy, the other side not very happy. Defense, very, hey, take 1 or 2 yards, we're good with that. Offense, you got to expect to get more on the passing play.
Stroud looking to throw. Right side, complete to Mechie.
And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Texans passing game in rhythm right now, picking up another 1st.
What a drive this has been, just chewing up the yardage. And here's one of their best plays yet, as they finally get down into the red zone and look to finish this off with 6.
So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. Stroud. Repeat of the last play, going to Mechie here.
They'll give him 4 yards there, and it'll be 2nd down.
And Stroud now to throw.
And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown.
John Mechie
From 13 yards out.
And the Texans are able to stretch out their lead.
That drive that really increased their cushion felt very military to me. Very precise, methodical. That's one of the words you've taught me. And they just got it done.
And slowly but surely now starting to pull away a little bit. Things looking good for them here in the third quarter.
Not only pulling away, but you mentioned that slowly but surely. You also drain clock, too, with a drive like that. So you really give yourself an advantage.
So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away.
And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25.
And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles.
I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
And he gets this up just shy of the 30 to the 29 before he's out of bounds. So the completion good for just 3. And that's going to bring up second down.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
Stafford now to throw.
Going to be taken in here by Nakua.
And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. It's a gain of 11 and a first down, L.A.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
Here's Stafford.
A quick throw knocked away and incomplete.
Quarterbacks work all the time on manipulating a defense with their eyes and their head movement. In this case, he just stared the receiver down. That allowed for excellent coverage, able to knock that one away.
So second down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40. Stafford looks to throw again. And that's complete to Adams. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. So they'll wind up losing 5 yards on the play, and they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here.
Heck of a play there to get to him quickly and get him down for a loss.
I think they did a really nice job getting ready for this game, scouting, watching film, and understanding defensively what the play design was.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Well, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going.
Looks like another empty possession offensively. And you're at that point in the game where you can't afford too many more of these. So this is going to require some heavy thinking on the sideline to figure out what they can do to crack this defense.
Here comes the Rams punter now, as he'll punt it away for the second time. .39 yards on the punt, just 2 on the return.
And the Texans will take over.
And now out comes Houston. They're just looking to do more of the same. They were good in the first half. They've extended their lead so far here in the second half. I don't know, they're just looking good on hitting on all cylinders right now.
And sometimes that means a head coach who really has the finger on the pulse of the team may not have anything to say at all. May tell the rest of the coaches,
up a little bit.
Just back it off a little bit. This team has it under control. I remember hearing about Bob Knight years ago in basketball, getting ready to give the final speech before the gold medal game in '84. And on the board, Michael Jordan had written, "Coach, after all we've been through, there's no way we're losing tonight." He didn't even give a pregame speech.
Wow, interesting. Well, right now, no speech is needed. Mixing up the middle.
And he'll take this to the 32, a gain of about 3.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
This now a 3rd and 4. Here's Stroud. And, oh, that's going to wind up incomplete. Nearly their first pick of the game, but it does bring up 4th down.
And that could have been the lifeline they needed. This is a play that could have been made. Instead, it's just going to fall incomplete.
The Texans send the punter out. And the way this offense has moved the ball, he hasn't been needed till here in the 3rd. It's a return of 5 following a punt of 42 yards. And the Rams will go on offense here with a 1st and 10.
L.A. set to take over again on offense. The last series for them, a little disappointing, forced to punt. And now they'll try to do better here and come away with some points as they begin this drive, 1st and 10.
And they'll send the tight end in motion here. Stafford. Short throw, it's Higbee. It'll go as a gain of 4, and it'll be 2nd down.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
2nd down and 6 now.
To throw is Stafford.
And this one is going to be off the mark, too far out in front.
He shook his head right when he released that throw. He knew it was going to be a little off target.
Yeah, the excitement got him on that one. Wasn't able to control the fact the receiver was open, and it would have been an easy throw.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Throwing is Stafford.
He's got his target. That's complete.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Great way to convert on 3rd down there. 21 yards the play.
Well, we talk all the time about playing situational football, and right now I think the scoreboard is dictating what they need to do. Where they are in this game, they've got to push the ball downfield, take their shots, try and get big chunks of yardage in a short amount of time. That was a nice play there.
And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down.
If you're a coach, you'll absolutely take that run every time on 1st down because it really sets you up to go in a number of directions here on 2nd.
2nd and 5.
Play action. Stafford.
He's going to find Atwell open downfield.
And they move this all the way down to the 9. Give them 32 on the play. Obviously, they're not where they want to be right now on the scoreboard. Big plays like that, though, that'll trend them in the right direction.
Yeah, a few more like that, they'll be right back in the game. And if they can continue to do that, maybe they'll inspire their defense as well. They'll get a few stops.
In motion goes the tight end. Now Stafford. And his throw is incomplete. Another shot from the 9 on 2nd and goal. Out of the gun, Stafford. And that's going to be knocked away in the end zone. It's incomplete.
Give them credit for excellent coverage, tight coverage. They're doing a lot of things that we talk about in basketball. They're causing disruptions in the passing game. And as long as that continues, it'll be tough for them to gain any momentum throwing the
down.
Now Stafford.
That's to the sideline and incomplete.
Great defense there on 3rd and goal. They took away everything. Forced him to fire that one to the sideline where no one could get it.
So on 4th down, Sean McVay going to send out the field goal unit. From the left hash, should be a fairly easy one here. And his kick is right there. It's good, and the deficit drops now from 21 down to 18. So his third field goal of the ball game brings him a bit closer, but there's no question they need to start turning some of these threes into sixes.
And sevens, and probably even eights. You know, as a kicker, you just head out when you're called upon, so he's done his job. It's the rest of the offense that needs to get it in gear if they want to close this gap.
The Rams kickoff team on the field, and here we go with the ball in the air. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. The Texans back out there and ready to go. Obviously not the intended goal last drive. They had to punt the football, but still they've got the lead here and now a chance to add on to that lead if they can get points on this drive. 1st and 10 upcoming. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. They'll send Kirk in motion right. Stroud sets up the play action. He'll wind up getting right about 4 there on the scramble, and it's 2nd down.
His running ability has been an extra dimension of their game plan thus far. For once, though, he doesn't create any magic against a front that's prepared for him to try and take off.
Now a 2nd and 6. Throwing now is Stroud. Over the middle, he gets it to Collins.
5th catch of the afternoon, and that gives him a 1st down. Out of the shotgun, they run with Mixon.
That's a good acceleration there as he's across midfield to the 48-yard line.
A pickup of 11 and a Texans 1st down.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
Stroud to throw it.
They'll set up the screen here to Mixon. 7 yards there on the 1st down screen play.
Good call there on 1st down. And, Brandon, I'm getting better over the years and not screaming out screen, screen, screen with my defensive training. They want to keep those pass rushers honest, and they did so there, and they wind up picking up positive yardage.
Final minute now of the 3rd quarter.
An option handoff here to Mixon.
And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line.
So they cite the right guard this time with a holding penalty.
And so many different assignments you can have at that position, and sometimes you might just be a step too late and have to grab and hold on.
Now Stroud.
It fights him off. And that is incomplete here. They'll need to get this to the 38. That's where the 1st down marker is here on 3rd.
Play action. Here's Stroud.
And the Rams got him. They bring him down. So they will take the sack instead of the penalty.
And it takes another down off the series. But the biggest one of all, do you want to tell the guy who just got the sack that it no longer counts?
No.
No, not at all.
The Texans send the punter out as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. 44 on his first punt, and this is a good kick as well. And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Back now in Los Angeles. It's the Rams trailing, but they do have the football as we start the 4th and final quarter. Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. Even though they were able to force the punt defensively, still a big hole to climb out of, especially at this late stage of the contest. It's caught here by Adams. So the completion good for 6 yards, and it's second down. You got the big lead defensively, willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Back to throw, Stafford. Looking middle, and it's incomplete.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration, the body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
The Rams on third down. Not so hot. 2 for 9 to this point. This is 3rd and 4. A shotgun snap for Stafford. Caught on the right side by Adams. And he's going to be a yard short. Needed 4, but got 3.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran it a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
Here we go with Williams. And he's able to pick up the first before he's taken down at the 27. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th. At first glance, I actually wasn't sure that he got it, but he ended up getting it by about a full yard.
He certainly did, but it took a little effort, didn't it? Took some nice push, a little crease inside, and some determined running to make sure that he got the first down.
Stafford. He finds his man, complete. That's Adams. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. The completion, but they go in the wrong direction. A loss of yards, and now they're dealing with a 2nd and long. Here's Stafford. Open man is Atwell, complete. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch. And 3rd and 8 now.
I do have to admit, I like it when it all comes together. When the top part, catching the football, right, whether you're catching it with your hands or cradling it, comes together with the legs, in this case the feet, doing a little toe tap to stay in bounds and complete the catch.
And a great
on Stafford for the 3rd time is intercepted. Derek Stingley picks it.
And they will score a pick 6 for the Texans TD. Well, you start to feel sorry now for the young man throwing the football. This is really turning into a disaster.
Listen, it's baptism. All right, this is almost a rite of passage. This young in the league, go back and find a Hall of Fame quarterback and check their records for their first 2 years, especially if they started the bulk of the games. I'll bet you'll find double-digit interceptions on just about every one of them. They have to learn as they go along.
Fairbairn good with the extra point, and they open the lead up now to 25. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away. And the LA offense ready for this next possession. And you can sort of sense their dejection. That last pick 6 put the icing on the cake, so to speak, in what has been a rough go for them. Stafford and the Rams come up 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. After the pick 6, they go right back to the air.
They'll get this one complete to Atwell.
And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34. Stafford now to throw. That's complete to his tight end, Higbee. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. They call his number again. It's his 6th catch and a first down.
And with this game well in hand, perhaps we are seeing the coverage lighten up a little bit as they got burned there a bit for a first down.
Well, we certainly know the coach isn't happy along the sideline because he certainly wants them to finish this one out the way they started it. He doesn't want to give up any soft completions, no late points. He wants his lead to stay right where it is.
And he'll take this from 147-yard line to the other, a gain of 6.
Ball on the 47-yard line. Here's a 2nd and 4.
Now a play fake it at Stafford.
Going to be taken in here by Nakua.
5th catch of the afternoon, and that gives him a first down.
And the throw and the catch were just fine, but against zone coverage when you run a drag route, what you're hoping for is he makes the catch and makes someone miss, and they don't there. Very difficult route to run when everyone has their eyes back towards the quarterback and they're able to see the route develop.
Now it's Stafford.
They'll find a man over the middle, Tutu Atwell.
And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll leave him with a 2nd and just a few inches left.
Even against double coverage, he found enough of an opening for a noticeable gain. 2 guys on him, yet he finds a way to uncover downfield for the completion.
A good position to be in here, 2nd and inches.
To the air again, Stafford. And that's complete to Adams. His big game continues. 10 catches now and another first down.
When the hitch route is run really well, that jab step off the line of scrimmage by the receiver, which is designed to back up the defender and give him a little bit of space, all you want there. Get that space, catch the football, and then make a move and pick up extra yardage. And that's exactly what he got done there.
Throwing is Stafford.
To the sideline and incomplete.
And not a common sight, at least on this drive. A momentary setback, though, for this passing game that has been moving well this series. Good thing for them, though. Still 2 more downs to connect and try and pick up another first down.
2nd and 10.
Here's Stafford. And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here.
At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense are just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they've blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
From the gun on 3rd down, Stafford.
He's got his target. That's complete.
And he's going to take this one in for a Rams touchdown. Davante Adams with his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon.
And the Rams are able to cut into that deficit. He's got them out now to a 3-score lead here in the 4th quarter after that one, CD. And, well, he looked right off the line like he knew that that ball was coming his way, and he secured it for 6 points.
Yeah, and I think when you're leading by a healthy margin already, it actually loosens you up and allows you to take maybe a few more chances and definitely play with more confidence because he certainly saw something he could exploit in the defense, and he made sure to let his quarterback know, just get it to me. And the rest was all up to him, and he delivered and made it a 3-score game.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
And out a little across the 25 to the 27.
The Texans offense now, they get set to head back onto the field.
Well, the win for them at this point seems pretty assured. I mean, still a decent amount of time left here in the 4th quarter, Charles, but you got the football, you're up 3 scores. They have to be feeling really good about where they're at.
I love your observation skills, partner, because I think you saw them charge onto the field fired up about another chance to get into the end zone. Looks to me like this group is ready to crush any hope left on the opposing sideline, and they want to do it with some gusto, too.
2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
I have zero rooting interest in either team in this game. I only want a good game. But with all the offense we've seen from them tonight, It's kind of nice to see the defense step up and make a big play.
Yeah, I was wondering if they were ever going to get him in the backfield. Nice to see him get a stop. Mixon hit, and the ball is out. And now the Rams have got it, going the other way. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line. And now, as with every potential turnover, they're going to take a second look at this just to make sure. The Texans offense now, they get set to head back on the field here. They were forced to punt last time. Now, I doubt sincerely that they'll have to punt here because they're gifted with terrific field position.
I don't even want to think about the idea that they would end up punting starting with this type of field position. Neither do they. Great starting spot, great opportunity to run your full playbook. If they want to take a shot here, they can go ahead and do it.
On third down, Mixon. He stiff arms him. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. 40 yards rushing for him now as he's run it 11 times. Hate to be blunt, but it is just continuing to prove to be the case that this O-line is manhandling this D-line right now.
They deserve to roll up their sleeves and show up their biceps because they're doing exactly what you just described, manhandling the defensive front. They've got the leverage, they're powering through, and they're controlling this game.
Down to about the 45.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground.
Ball spotted at the 45. Here's a 2nd and 8.
Again, it's Mixon. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. That one, a first down pickup of 8. Starting to become a tough spot for this defense. You're down, 4th quarter, looking a little fatigued maybe on that side of the ball.
Partner, we've seen this before, haven't we? Because every coach we've ever talked to says body language is important. And now you're seeing guys with their hands on their hips, they're bent over, hands on their knees. And the offensive guys, they're just saying, let's just keep running it at them. We've got them now.
And tough sledding. He'll get maybe a yard. Stop short of the 35.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
And some nice running, going to get him down close to a first down at the Rams' 28. Call it an 8-yard gain. Much better shape now on 3rd and just a yard.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. And I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently.
And he is going to have a Texans first down, and comfortably so, as he gets 5 there on 3rd and a yard.
When you have someone throwing it that well, that confidently, you don't have to call the game in fear at all, do you? You just go ahead and play.
Yep, confidence with a lead to throw it here in the 4th, and boom, he's on the money.
Yeah, you don't have to tuck your head in and go like turtle at this point. You can just go ahead and play.
Inside handoff to Mixon. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up. That time the right guard sending him backwards.
And so many different types of guys rotate in on the defensive line now depending on situations. You can get the bulky guy, the fast guy. No matter what, though, you can't hold them.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. After the penalty, it's Mixon. And a decent gain there as that takes us to the 2-minute warning. 4 yards on the pickup. It'll be 2nd down.
Back to Mixon on 2nd down.
And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. They'll get 4 back there on the run, but now they're looking up at a 3rd and 12 situation.
I like the call there because that was one to take time off the clock and get them closer to getting out of here with a W. In the mind of the play caller, all you want to hear is tick, tick, tick.
They'll stay on the ground. Mixon again. Call it no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down.
They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL, and he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time, so make sure you get in shape.
The kick by Fairbairn is good, and that will extend their lead even further. Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so, and maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
Fairbairn now following the made field goal. He'll send this one away. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. And the Rams now coming out on the field. Well, this game, it has had no shortage of offense. They've been able to put up a decent amount of points on this side, Charles. They just have not been able to keep pace with the other offense they're going against here.
Yeah, that's a good way of pointing things out because now it's not a total loss because, as you said, they've scored some points, so there's some plays they can build on, moments where the game plan actually worked.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Ronald Darby. And they will set up shop in enemy territory at the 42-yard line. Here's a give to Mixon. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. 75 yards rushing for him now in the ball game. Charles, a lot of happy faces heading into the tunnel as this one ends, and understandably so. Not only did they get the win, but, boy, their offense was on fire in this ball game.
And, partner, I have no idea what the top speed is on one of those high-end sports cars. What's the top gear you can get into? This offense, they certainly were there in this one, huh? Everything clicking for them in this contest, the kind of performance that they're going to cherish.
So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports. From Southern California, so long, everybody.